Be cautious of these 6 warning signs of stroke. Tips for staying healthy during winter. Hello, and welcome to Buddha Zen Wisdom, where we are here to accompany you every day. Today, we're addressing a crucial topic: strokes and their prevention. The importance of recognizing the signs of a stroke cannot be overstated, as it can make the difference between life and death. Let me share a cautionary story about a 55-year-old woman named Mrs. Laura Thompson, who tragically succumbed to a stroke. Her story serves as a reminder of how essential it is to pay close attention to our health, especially during the cold winter months when certain conditions may exacerbate the risks. Winter can be harsh, not just on our spirits, but also on our physical well-being. A normal morning that turned into a tragedy. It was just an ordinary winter morning when Laura Thompson woke up, as she had for many years. The time was 6:30 a.m., and like clockwork, she began her morning routine, preparing breakfast for her family. Outside, the world was covered in a blanket of snow, the air crisp and chilly as it often is in January. Snowflakes fluttered down from the sky, adding a serene touch to the cold, and the wind howled gently outside the window. Inside, the warmth of the kitchen provided a stark contrast to the freezing temperatures outside. The stove hummed softly, radiating heat and filling the room with the comforting aroma of cooking. Laura, as always, was in high spirits. She smiled at the thought of her family gathering around the table to enjoy the meal she was preparing for them. She had always found joy in nurturing her loved ones, and it was in these small acts of service that she found purpose. But without warning, everything changed. As Laura chopped vegetables with her usual focus, a sudden, intense dizziness washed over her. It felt as though the world was spinning uncontrollably. Her vision blurred, and her legs buckled beneath her, unable to support her. Before she could even call for help, she collapsed to the floor, losing consciousness. Her family, hearing the noise, rushed to the kitchen to find Laura lying motionless on the floor. Panic ensued as they immediately dialed 911, and within minutes, paramedics arrived. They rushed Laura to the hospital, but tragically, despite the best efforts of the medical team, Laura was pronounced dead upon arrival. The cause? A stroke. This devastating event left her family in shock, struggling to comprehend how such a vibrant woman could be taken so suddenly. The tragedy also served as a wake-up call for those who heard her story, reminding them of the importance of taking care of their health, especially during the winter months when the risks can be even greater. It highlighted the fragility of life and the unpredictable nature of our health. Understanding stroke, a silent winter risk. Strokes are a serious health concern year-round, but they are particularly common during the winter months. The cold weather presents unique challenges, especially for the elderly and those with underlying health conditions such as high blood pressure or diabetes. A stroke, or cerebrovascular accident, occurs when blood flow to part of the brain is interrupted, depriving the brain cells of the oxygen and nutrients they need. This results in brain cell death, and the damage caused can be permanent. There are 2 main types of strokes. 1. Ischemic stroke. This is the most common type of stroke, caused by a blockage in a blood vessel that supplies blood to the brain. The blockage can be due to a blood clot or a narrowing of the blood vessels. 2. Hemorrhagic stroke. This type occurs when a blood vessel in the brain ruptures, causing bleeding within the brain. During the winter, the body's response to cold temperatures causes blood vessels to constrict in an attempt to preserve heat. This constriction can raise blood pressure, putting additional strain on the cardiovascular system and increasing the likelihood of both ischemic and hemorrhagic strokes. Additionally, the cold weather can cause the heart to work harder, which can further exacerbate the risk of stroke, especially for those with pre-existing heart conditions. Recognizing the 8 common symptoms of a stroke. Recognizing the symptoms of a stroke quickly is vital. The earlier you can identify these signs, the better the chances of receiving timely medical intervention, which can save lives and reduce long-term disability. The acronym FAST is commonly used to remember the most important signs. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911. Let's dive deeper into each of these symptoms and other warning signs of a stroke. 1. Facial numbness or drooping. One of the most immediate and noticeable signs of a stroke is sudden numbness or drooping on one side of the face. This often leads to a lopsided or uneven smile. The person may feel as though their face has gone numb or is experiencing a tingling sensation, much like the feeling of being pricked by tiny needles. 2. Limb weakness or numbness. A stroke can cause sudden weakness or numbness in one arm, leg, or the entire side of the body. The affected side may feel heavy or uncoordinated, making it difficult for the person to move or lift their arm or leg. 3. Slurred speech or difficulty understanding language. One of the most telling signs of a stroke is slurred speech or difficulty speaking clearly. Words may come out jumbled or slurred, and the person may struggle to form sentences or articulate their thoughts. Additionally, the person may have trouble understanding speech, even if it's clear to others, as though they are hearing a language they do not recognize. 4. Vision problems. Another potential sign of a stroke is blurred or double vision. In some cases, people may experience sudden temporary blindness in one or both eyes. These vision problems can occur without warning, often affecting one eye or both. 5. Sudden severe headaches. Some strokes, particularly hemorrhagic strokes, can be accompanied by sudden and severe headaches. These headaches are often described as the worst pain the person has ever experienced. It may be accompanied by dizziness, nausea, and vomiting. 6. Dizziness or loss of balance. People who are experiencing a stroke often describe feeling an overwhelming sense of dizziness, as though the room is spinning. This loss of balance can make it very difficult for the person to stand or walk, increasing the risk of falls and injury. 7. Nausea and vomiting. While nausea and vomiting are not typically thought of as primary stroke symptoms, they can occur in some cases, particularly when the stroke is affecting certain areas of the brain. If nausea or vomiting is combined with other signs, it's important to seek medical attention immediately. 8. Confusion or seizures. In more severe strokes, the person may experience confusion or disorientation. They may not be able to respond to questions or seem unaware of their surroundings. In extreme cases, seizures may occur, with involuntary muscle movements due to disrupted brain signals. Preventative tips for winter: 5 habits to avoid. The winter months can pose a significant risk for strokes, especially for older adults or individuals with underlying cardiovascular conditions. While it's important to stay active and healthy, there are certain habits and behaviors you should avoid during this time of year to reduce your stroke risk. 1. Jumping out of bed quickly. During the winter, your blood pressure naturally fluctuates as your body adjusts to the cold. One of the riskiest things you can do is suddenly jump out of bed after waking up. This abrupt movement can cause a rapid spike in blood pressure, increasing the likelihood of a stroke or heart attack. Instead, take your time to sit up slowly and allow your body to adjust before standing. 2. Exercising outdoors early in the morning. While morning exercise is beneficial for overall health, it's important to be cautious during the winter months. The cold air can cause your airways to constrict, and the strain on your cardiovascular system can increase the risk of a stroke. If you want to exercise outdoors, wait until the sun has risen and warmed the air, or consider indoor workouts like yoga or strength training. 3. Overindulging in alcohol. Winter often brings an increased temptation to indulge in holiday drinks, but excessive alcohol consumption can be dangerous. Alcohol can cause blood vessels to dilate and then constrict, leading to fluctuating blood pressure, which raises the risk of stroke. Enjoying a drink in moderation is key. 4. Skipping layers or wearing inadequate clothing. Cold temperatures can stress the cardiovascular system. It's important to wear warm, layered clothing to keep your body insulated. Don't forget to protect your extremities, hands, feet, and head by wearing gloves, warm socks, and a hat to maintain body heat. 5. Ignoring persistent symptoms. One of the most dangerous things you can do during winter is to ignore symptoms like headaches, dizziness, or blurred vision. Many people dismiss these as mere fatigue or signs of aging, but they could be warning signs of a stroke. Never ignore persistent symptoms, especially when combined with other signs. Simple lifestyle changes to reduce stroke risk. Aside from avoiding risky habits, there are proactive steps you can take to reduce your risk of stroke, particularly during the winter months. Monitor your blood pressure. High blood pressure is one of the most significant risk factors for stroke. Make it a habit to check your blood pressure regularly and consult a healthcare provider if your readings are consistently high. Adopt a healthy diet. A healthy diet is essential for reducing the risk of stroke. Focus on eating plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins, while limiting your intake of salt, sugar, and saturated fats. Exercise regularly. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate physical activity each day. Regular exercise helps improve circulation, lower blood pressure, and maintain a healthy weight, all of which reduce stroke risk. Quit smoking. Smoking is one of the leading causes of cardiovascular disease and stroke. If you smoke, seek help to quit as soon as possible. Stay hydrated. Dehydration can thicken your blood, increasing the likelihood of clot formation. Be sure to drink plenty of water, especially during the winter months when we may not feel as thirsty. Stay warm, keep your living space at a comfortable temperature, and dress warmly when venturing outdoors. Avoid prolonged exposure to the cold, as this can place unnecessary strain on your body. Final thoughts. Laura Thompson's story is a stark reminder of the unpredictability of life and the importance of prioritizing our health. Strokes are silent, deadly killers that can strike without warning, and the risks are even higher during the cold winter months. By recognizing the symptoms early, avoiding risky habits, and making simple lifestyle changes, you can reduce your risk of stroke and protect yourself and your loved ones. Remember, your health is your most valuable asset. Don't take it for granted. Take steps today to safeguard your future and ensure that you live a long, healthy life.